What's up, guys? It's EVEnton here. Like I mentioned in my last video, I did want to cover some of the skills I'm training for right now. Right now, I currently have 23 million total skill points towards my character. So obviously, I've been playing for a while, but not for that long. I'm not to the point where everything I'm skilling into is going to take 3, 4, 5 weeks plus. And in this case, there's actually some stuff to look at and that I'm actually considering changing it up. So I typically do it every like 2 months or so. I do like remap my character and then like make it like a longer skill queue in that instance. But more recently, I tend to just keep adding stuff because currently my character is remapped for intelligence and memory. These points are really high because I injected a Master at Arms cerebral accelerator because of my alts, which is really nice. So it does speed things up. But as of right now, I just did intelligence and memory because I knew, at least for me personally, I wanted to knock out a lot of these navigation and engineering skills. I will say most of these total skill points are probably towards like hauling and ore mining related skills and modules and things like that. So that's why, honestly, my ship skills and my weapon skills are pretty abysmal. I'm pretty much only skilled for missiles. I mean, you can even just see the numbers here. My missile skills are pretty decent, mostly into the lights because, like I said before, I was using the Helo a lot. But if you look at my gunnery skills, it's pretty bad. I do not use these type of ships or sorry, these type of weapons hardly at all. But main thing I did want to do was remap my character for intelligence and memory. Because I'm kind of doing like the glorified version of like the, I believe it's called the Magic 14, where there's skills that affect pretty much every ship in the game. And that's kind of what I did here. I really wanted to maximize my skill points and my time for skills that were going to affect every single ship. So armor, shields, things like that. So I wanted to max these out. So this is what I mainly wanted to do. And as I was starting to do these, I was like, hey, once I was finished with that, I was going to start doing I was going to remap my character to do, I believe it was willpower and perception, which is mainly for, or perception and willpower, which is mainly for ship command, weapon skills, things like that. Then I started getting into kind of science and resource reprocessing, things like that. So I eventually started to keep adding and adding because I was going to remap and only do it for probably about 3 months. Then I kept on adding more and more and more skills that were kind of under the intelligence and memory category. And so that's kind of what's happened. So the 3 or 4 months ended up being like 6 months. And I'm not regretting it at all, but some of the skills I'm not really looking into that much. So I think for now, right now, what I'm doing is increasing my reprocessing efficiency because there are a lot of mineral prices are going up right now. So I do want to start reprocessing some of the scrap that I get from running missions, doing random sites, things like that. And I do eventually want to get the talisonite reprocessing because I'm sitting on a little bit more than of 250,000 units of talisonite. I think even with like a 8% increase in reprocessing, I'm going to get a lot of profit from it, way more than what the book is worth. So I figured that was worthwhile to look into. As of right now, which is one thing I actually found out about this, and I actually had these advanced weapon upgrades up here, like in the intelligence thing. So even though engineering is under intelligence and memory, if you actually look at weapon upgrades, it's actually memory and perception. I don't know if it's just because it's related to weapons, but it's under the engineering category. So just be sure to double check. I think it's usually correct 95% of the time. Like all these skills should be intelligence and memory, but I think this is one of the very, very few off chances or like off times that it's not under the category of engineering for the most part. So this is my plans right now. I was going to do a bit of drone rigging because I noticed that a lot of my ships do have either drone mining upgrades, drone mining skills, things like that. So I just want to make sure I kind of finish that off. But cybernetics 5, I still don't even have cybernetics 5. I was using like just generic +3 for skilling up quicker, but I was never really, I didn't even start understanding like jump clone stuff until about a couple months ago. Like I knew it existed and you could have multiple clones for different roles and stuff, but it was just something I just didn't care to really look into, honestly, until recently. And so learning cybernetics 5, just being able to use a lot of the mid-grade stuff or like low grade, I forgot what that stuff is called, being able to use that eventually is really nice. So this is pretty much what my next 55 days looks like. So eventually when I hit the Cybernetics 5, once that's done, I will then remap my character to do perception and willpower. So I can actually start training for some ships and for some weapons. And as you can see here, if I open up my ship tree, I have 0 skills in Amar, 0 skills in Minmatar, but I do have quite a bit in Caldari and the Galente as well. So my skills are pretty high. So obviously I was just mainly going for the Grease to Pirates and the Mordu's Legion Command. And I was told to kind of do this because from what I've heard, drones and missiles are kind of rookie friendly skills, especially missiles, because it's kind of a low barrier to entry. Same thing with shields, things like that. And Greases are a really good PvE pirate faction, and the Mordus are a very good kind of like PvP faction ships to use as well. I mean, they're not cheap, but it's always nice to have it available. And at least for my ore skills, I mean, I have 4 out of 5 with the Industrial Command right now. I ended up going this route down to Industrial Command rather than Exhumers because I found out it was kind of the same amount of time. It was like 35-40 days of training, and I was like, well, I'd rather have the option of the bigger ship and just have my alts use these for the most part. So that's what I'm doing right now for my skills, in case you guys are wondering what I'm skilling towards right now. So as you've noticed, a lot of my skills were mainly just for kind of like the engineering, the navigation, shields, armor, things that are going to affect all kinds of ships, because what I wanted to do is kind of get that stuff out of the way first. And then because eventually when I get into ships that I do want to fly, I want to make sure I'm not unable to do certain fits because my navigation or shield skills or whatever it is aren't high enough to be able to do those fits. So hopefully once all that's done, I should be able to do pretty much any fit as long as it fits on like the power grid and CPU, things like that. So I did have one random thought, and I was thinking about doing a giveaway actually in my next video. So I'll probably announce it next video, like what the actual giveaway is going to be. I was thinking about doing something along the lines of like really interesting and obscure like mining fits. So I guess I would probably, the only rule would be like, you just can't use mining ships. So it's like try and make a mining vessel that can actually do a decent amount of, M3 per hour or whatever you want to measure it, and do it that way. And I'm not sure what the giveaway is going to be at. I'm not sure if I'm going to give away a fitted ship or maybe some Plex. If you guys have any ideas, down in the description below, let me know. And let me know what you guys are doing with your character, skill-wise, remapping. What kind of goals and things are you trying to shoot for and finish up in the meantime? So let me know what you guys think down in the description below. Sorry, it's getting really late. I'm trying to squeeze this video in before midnight right now, so if I'm kind of stumbling over my words. But anyway, I hope you guys have a good rest of the week. Fly safe and take care.